Recently, there's been quite a debate at the state capitol about whether or not the state of Louisiana should accept Obamacare's Medicaid expansion. Democrats in the Capitol have been using the same old tired talking points, claiming that Republicans want children and grandmas to die in the streets. Like Mark Twain said, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. A little under 500,000 adults in Louisiana, including those on disability, currently participate in the Medicaid program. It's not really a lot of people, about 11% of the total population, but the majority of the Medicaid participants are children. About 722,000 of Louisiana's 1 million kids are enrolled. Yes, you heard me right, 722,000. That's just over 70% of all the children in the state. But the purpose of Obamacare's Medicaid expansion is not to ensure more children, it's to open the program to more adults, whether they have children or not. Expansion would ensure Medicaid coverage to every citizen of Louisiana who makes up to 138% of the federal poverty level. That's about $32,000 per year for a family of 4. Experts estimate that this would make about 650,000 more Louisianians eligible for Medicaid. So if we accept Medicaid expansion, almost 1.9 million people would qualify for Medicaid. That's about 40% of the state. Healthcare is expensive, so how on earth can we afford to pay for that? Well, liberals say, don't worry, the federal government will fund everything. However, that's not exactly true. First, Medicaid only pays hospitals and doctors, on average about 60% of the Medicare rates for their services. And how do they make up the massive loss in revenue? You guessed it. They charge the rest of us who buy private insurance. Now imagine how much rates would increase if we were to double the recipients of Medicaid. Secondly, and most importantly, the federal government doesn't cover all of the cost. True, Washington would cover a whopping $900 million of it, but there would still be about $50 million that would fall on the shoulders of Louisiana. But the worst thing is that the federal funding diminishes in just a few years. Eventually, Louisiana would pay a large part ourselves. Estimates range from $900 million to $2.1 billion over the next 10 years. Washington, D.C. runs deficits of almost $1 trillion every single year. And let's be honest, Democrats aren't the only ones responsible. Since Bush took office in 2000, the federal debt has skyrocketed from $4 trillion to almost $18 trillion in just 14 years. Conservatives want everyone to have good health care and good health insurance. Young, old, poor, rich, everyone. And we mean that. But when the only plan is to make 40% of Louisiana dependent for their health care on a federal government headed for bankruptcy, well, we think that is heartless. What happens when the federal government finally runs out of money? America needs free market-driven healthcare reforms that would drive costs down and give every American the opportunity to have world-class healthcare. And Medicaid expansion is not the solution.